Erik, we always talk about resilience for this team. Again, loss, come back, bounce back with a win. What is it about this team, even shorthanded tonight without Jimmy, that they show that resolve?
I don't know. I've said it before. You have to have some stability and character inherently in your guys, and then you have to be able to develop it as well. And I think this group has it and develops it. We've been in quite a few of these situations. They do take it to heart. We all understood that we just did not compete at a high level in Orlando, and guys did not like that. And then there's deep respect, for this team coming in. We anticipated that they would have their full roster. They've dealt with a lot of injuries, but you're thinking it's going to be Lillard and McCollum, and you can just see how dangerous these guys can be. I mean, we were flying around. I thought our defensive coverages were pretty sharp, and there really is no coverage for Lillard, particularly when he has that kind of range. It's literally 30 feet. And then he has the ball handling and cleverness that if you're just a tiny bit off balance or not in correct position, he knows how to draw fouls in a similar fashion that Jimmy does. So I think our group has a competitive nature to it and a humility after losses to be able to own it, to be able to correct it and face the next challenge.
Two things. One is, you've talked about it before, I'm sure, but the luxury of having a guy who's less than 2 years removed from an all-star game leading the second unit as your point guard off the bench. And secondly, along with Goran, JJ looked like he had not missed a beat.
Right.
I know Goran wasn't a surprise, but JJ probably had to be on some level.
In many ways, JJ was the proverbial game ball winner tonight. He's put in a lot of time. Look, he's been ready probably for 2 or 3 weeks in my mind where I felt comfortable to be able to put him in. He's played well in practice. We had played well. Our rotation was fairly established. I didn't see a need to force anything. And as things happen in this league, if you just stay ready, stay with it, wait for your moment, and you're prepared for it, then you give yourself the best chance to be able to play well, and he's done that. And we needed it tonight. Every bit of those minutes. You see his versatility defensively. We had him on Carmelo. We had him on their centers. We had him on Lillard there in the fourth quarter. But he's light. He's fit. He's moving great. And then obviously, Goran. Let's not let anybody forget that this is, an all-star player we're talking about. And it gives me a great hammer to be able to make that point to our roster, especially our young guys, but everybody else, that if you want to be a part of a good team, you have to be willing to sacrifice. And the definition of sacrificing is giving in, giving up, giving something that actually, you feel it. And Goran very much would rather be a starter, and he can be a starter, but for this team, it makes sense on a lot of different levels that I don't need to explain to come off the bench and he's able to have nights like this.
Derrick tonight with the 19 points, but then guarding Damian Lillard for most of the game. How much has his game developed just as a two-way player where he's kind of become an essential part of this rotation this season?
Yeah, he's put in a lot of time. This has been building, and again, it's about reliability, being available, being professional on all the days in between. And what I mean by that is he's a great kid. He's always going to be here, but really dedicating himself to the things outside the basketball court, such as the training room and the weight room. He has a very strong, wiry body, but he still needs to work at it to be able to handle the contact and the collisions that he inevitably gets into in a game. And that's why he's in the weight room right now. And after that, he gets rewarded with 2 protein shakes. But he's becoming increasingly more important for us. His teammates know that. His coaches know that. He just has to keep on working. We've had several of these games lately that your closing lineups are a 19-year-old, a 22-year-old, 22, 23. These guys will be much different 2 or 3 months from now if they just put their head down and continue to work at it, be humble, and stick with this process of improvement. Okay.
The 8-man rotation tonight, was Kelly healthy and able to play, or was it just
Yeah, he was
out of
healthy.
game flow?
Look, they were playing 4 guards. They didn't give me an opportunity to play multiple centers often. I mean, they had injuries. So I wouldn't look too much into this. As we start to get guys back, then I'll have to make some decisions. But that wasn't the case tonight.
I know Kids Day is a tradition around here,
Yeah.
and you did it last year too, of course. But how neat is it to have Santiago out there for those moments?
Yeah, it was crazy. He was crying at first. He didn't have his hat. I'm like trying to explain to him that during the anthem you're not wearing your hat, but those are beautiful moments. It's really cool. It's very humbling. I love it. I don't know how many teams do that, but that's another one of the long reasons why I love this franchise are moments like that. And I like looking down the line and seeing, all the kids out there. And Goran's daughter was crying too, so I didn't feel too bad.